Judges, please welcome our third finalist team, the Ohio State University.
In the last several years, farming has fallen under hard times, struggling to make ends meet as prices and incomes decline. No one knows this better than our farmer partners who run medium to large family farms. With times being tough, farmers have to look to new markets and opportunities to make an extra profit. Our Cobs to Cash program is the answer. Currently, only 0.023% of total cobs harvested from the near 12.9 million acres of viable corn. This means that $3.62 billion of potential are lying in the fields today. Reasons for this include high equipment costs, transportation, and the common misconception of nutrient loss in the soil. At the Cob Co., we are confident that we can succeed in the corn cob industry due to the increase in corn production and the demand for cob-based sustainable products. Corn production has reached an all-time high since 1944, producing 93.6 million acres of corn in 2015. As the demand for sustainable products increases, this creates demand for byproducts like the corn cob. One of the most common uses for corn cobs is animal bedding, ranging from laboratory animals to household pets. Animal owners claim that cob-based bedding is more absorbent and contains dust-free properties that makes it desirable to consumers. Abrasives and spill agents are other uses that the cob can be used for, from polishing on a boat to aiding in small to large oil spills. But the fastest growing cob-based industry is cellulosic ethanol, generating 1 million gallons in 2016, which was a 64% increase from the year before. One of its industry leaders, Poet, has made it its goal to harvest 36 billion gallons of renewable fuel, with 16 billion of that coming from cobs. Furthermore, Poet plans to have a cellulosic ethanol plant next to every existing ethanol plant, which will make 28 plants each, producing 60 million gallons. Now, how can we make the assumption that our farmer partners will actually participate in this venture, you might ask? Well, based on our market research, a study conducted by the Purdue University asked if farmers would invest in cob harvesting if the economics were improved and there was minimal impact on the soil. 40% of farmers said they would if the original price of $40 per ton was increased to $100 per ton. The study also disproves the common misconception of nutrient loss in the soil, when only 15.7% of corn stover is the cob, resulting in minimal impact. Recent market trends have proven that farmers are seeking new ways to make a profit, which has aided in the growth of the cellulosic ethanol industry and fueled consumers' demand for the sustainable products. Declining corn prices over the last 5 years and net income down 50% since 2013, farmers have to look to new ways to make a profit. Environmentally friendly products like cob-based bedding could be a solution to these farmers. With 84% of global consumers seeking sustainable products, many byproduct industries are expanding. Cellulosic ethanol is one of those byproduct industries that could create additional income to farmers, with production expected to increase 40% within the next 5 years. Since cropland per farm has increased with farms 1,000 acres or more, it will be able to sustain the ever-demanding need for cellulosic ethanol and sustainable products. Now we will be hearing from Laura about our target market.
Thank you, Grace. We target those farmers that are looking to utilize all the resources left in the field. Our idea is to partner with them and create relationships and personal stories. Our first personal story that we have is Corey and Carly Cobb. They have just under 2,000 acres. They're a newer family farm, and they have struggled financially and often rely on their parents. They are progressively seeking new ways to increase the agricultural industries. They both have college degrees. Carly Cobb serves on the local Farm Bureau, and Corey works with the Senior Fair Board. It is their hope with this extra revenue that they earn from the Cobb Co. that their children can one day show competitive livestock. Our next farmer partner is Tim Tassel. Being an older farmer, we thought he'd be a little recessive to change, but he is a retired 4-H extension educator, and he's always looking for new ways to improve the industry. He's somewhat progressive, and he's very active in the community. He also serves on the local senior fair board, and with his little extra revenue that he gains, he's able to purchase the used livestock. He comments on the trust and consistency that we have built here at the Cobb Co. Our customers, our idea is to utilize the resources that we have. They have the same visions of the future with alternative energy sources. Amazing Products is our first customer. They're environmentally friendly, and they focus on their commercial products. They provide absorbents, animal bedding, and abrasive to their end green customer, the green shopper. Our next customer is Cruising on Cobs. They're a leading cellulosic ethanol producer. There are a few large plants, and they are innovatively focused, and they are risk takers to finding tomorrow's sustainable practices. Currently, nobody offers the combination of benefits that we have here at the Cobb Co. Competitors have tried to tackle this by either offering the machinery to the fields, or they are only capable of accepting seed corn producers. Here at the Cobb Co, we provide the turnkey solutions to eliminate all those barriers. We make it our personal goal to provide all of this to the farmer. Farmers looking to do this on their own face significant challenges, such as high startup costs, high transportation costs, and relatively low yield. Here at the Cobb Co, as we provide our turnkey solutions, we look forward to tomorrow's sustainable agricultural practices. And now I'll turn it over to Garrett for our SWOT analysis.
The Cobb Co simply utilizes a SWOT analysis to better understand our business. Being new to the market, we understand that there are a couple weaknesses that we need to discuss, some of which being brand awareness and market share. However, we will utilize these weaknesses to become strengths, offering turnkey convenience to our farmers, having a reduced byproduct waste and an increase in revenue into our farmers' wallets. From these strengths, we also move to threats, being weather, attitude of farmers not wanting to change their normal operations, as well as the constant change in corn crop prices going up and down. From these threats, we also have opportunities, such as an opportunity for expansion in the market, having few competitors and a lot of buyers wanting to buy our products. Overall, we provide a positive experience for the environment as well as the farmers' wallets. Next, we will hear from Zach for our business proposition.
For the Cobb Company, our business strategy is to provide a free, turnkey cob harvesting solution which will allow our farmer partner to overcome economic barriers and increase overall farm income by capturing the value previously left in the field. Through our partnership with our farmers and companies, the Cobb Company can deliver the volume and quality of cobs necessary to meet the ever-growing environmentally focused consumer searching for a commercial production company that shares their views. This will also be taken advantage of by the future of the cellulosic ethanol industry. For the key assumptions for continued growth for the Cobb Company, our process will result in minimal compaction to the field as well as nominal nutrient loss to the soil. The Cobb Company plans on its farmer partners to acknowledge the success of our business plan, will see the value in working with us, and will continue to do so in the future. The Cobb Company is running off the new ideology of the Green Initiative and will become a part of that by supplying the cellulosic ethanol industry. The Cobb Company will have a large enough partnership base to where it can create an economy of scale which will in turn create a profit for our farmer partners and industry providers. The Cobb Company will also have enough demand for our equipment that we will receive a discount from the manufacturer because of our large orders. The goals of the Cobb Company are and always have been about growth and helping Joe Farmer make ends meet. The markets aren't what they used to be, and farmers everywhere looking for anything to get by, and that's where we come in with our free program, all while supplementing the Green Initiative by supplying the cellulosic ethanol industry. The objectives of the Cobb Company are to have approximately 137 partner farmers that can supply over 300,000 tons of cobs to our larger industries by the end of year 3. We will also be able to supply a $132 an acre profit share with our farmers by the end of year 3 as well, which was our goal. The price of our product is and always has been free to our partner farmer. We start out with a $40 an acre initial guaranteed pay, then supplement that later once the cobs have been sold with our profit share. We will also provide a $100 an acre, not guaranteed, $100 an acre plus supplement pay after the cobs have been sold by the end of year 3, which is our goal. We will start out in Northwest Ohio from our original location, where we will have a range of 100 miles, where we will have 20 cob collectors, 23 partner farmers, and 45,000 acres. By year 2, we will expand another 100-mile radius from the original location, where we'll have an additional 22 farmer partners, 36 cob collectors, and 91,000 acres. Due to continued success, the Cobb Company will expand another 100-mile radius from the original location, where we will open up a new location in Emmitsburg, Iowa, near a cellulosic ethanol production plant, which will bring our grand total to 137 partner farmers, 272,000 acres, and 103 cob collectors. Due to continued success as well, we can diversify our customer base from commercial production companies to the cellulosic ethanol industry. In year 1, some of our customers will be the Andersons, Best Cobb, and Green True. Then in year 2, we will extend into the cellulosic ethanol industry and become partners with Poet. And then in year 3, we will expand our customer base to the larger industry providers, such as DuPont, American Process, and Fiberite. Next, Jenna will talk to you about promotion.
Promotion will be key for the Cobb Co. In order to do so, we'd like to tell a story. Picture this, a combine rolling through a field during harvest with a cob collector hooked to the back. With each cob that lands in the cob collector, it turns into cash for the farmer. This story can be told in a radio ad or shown in a print ad. Either way, it has the same impact. Farmers are leaving money behind in the field, and if they partner with the Cobb Co., they'll be able to turn those cobs into cash for free. In order to tell this story, the Cobb Co. would like to use a combination of owned and paid media. The first owned media is the Cobb Co. website, which will be used to reach the 70% of farmers who access the internet daily. The next owned media is a YouTube page, which will be used to reach the 50% of farmers who access the video website each month. Videos produced by the Cobb Co. will include tutorials and testimonials from our farmer partners. The next owned media is promotional items, which will be key in the brand awareness of the Cobb Co. We will ensure that our logo is placed on each piece of our equipment, as well as give away free promotional items to our farmer partners. The last piece of promotion controlled by the Cobb Co. is PR. Our associates will work to be as involved in our communities as our farmer partners, including supporting local youth and providing community service. For paid media, the Cobb Co. would like to take advantage of print and digital ads. In year 1, we will do this through Ohio's Country Journal, which reaches 22,000 farmers. And in years 2 and 3, we will expand to the Iowa Farmer Today, which reaches 15,000 farmers in northwest Iowa alone. Trade shows will also be important for the Cobb Co., as our farmer partners will be able to see the equipment in person and ask questions of our sales team. In year 1, we will attend the Farm Science Review in London, Ohio, and in years 2 and 3, expand to the Iowa Power Farming Show. At these 2 events, we will be able to reach a combined 145,000 potential farmer partners. The last piece of paid media is radio ads, which will run approximately 3 times per day during the summer months and into harvest. The stations we will use for these advertisements will be 99.9 WKKO in Northwest Ohio, and KWMT 540 in Northwest Iowa. In order to tie all of these promotional pieces together, our sales team will work diligently to ensure our farmer partner satisfaction, as well as serve as liaisons between the Cobb Co. and our customers. Without our sales team, our promotional expenditures will go to waste. I will now pass it on to Andrea to talk more about our financials.
We have talked a lot about how we are able to turn cobs to cash. But let's take a look at the numbers behind how we're actually to make that happen. Our gross revenue increases from $13 million in year 1 to $79 million by year 3. This growth is a direct result of our increase in the tons of cobs collected each year. In year 1, we're collecting 50,000 tons of cobs. Year 2, 150,000. And by year 3, we're collecting 300,000 tons of cobs, which is enough to fuel a Poet cellulosic ethanol plant for 1 whole year. Our cost of goods sold takes into account the cost of the cob collector machines, a drying charge associated with drying 50,000 tons of cobs each year, a guaranteed profit per farmer per acre, as well as our semi and trucking costs. Our gross profit is adjusted for these costs, showing $9 million in year 1 and $63 million by year 3. Our operating income takes into account our marketing, sales and administration, as well as our profit share costs. ending year one at $5 million. Our profit share program allows our farmers to gain extra profit, in addition to the $40 that they are guaranteed. Now, the farmers guaranteed $40 of profit per acre because that is the amount that they would make if they did this on their own. However, when they partner with the Cobco, they are able to gain extra profit each year. And in year one, make an extra $77 per acre, totaling total partner profit for year one to be $117. I'd like to remind you that this is free to the farmer because of our complete turnkey service. We're able to provide them every step of the way at zero cost to them. Now, our net income shows $380,000 for year one, $2.8 million for year two, and $7.5 million for year three. Clearly, our budget has room to grow. Whether we're adjusting to fluctuation in corn cob prices, marketing costs that were unforeseen, and just our choices to grow as a company, we're able to account for those costs. Currently, we're selling our cobs to our customers at $250 per ton. However, we're able to still operate as a company and guarantee the farmer their $40 of profit if cob prices were to drop to $100 per ton. Also, marketing only takes up 12% of our budget in year one and only 1.3% of our budget in year three, where our budget is able to grow as our company grows and expands as well. Next, Garrett will talk to you about how we measure our goals as a company.
The Cobco simply strives to make its farmers money that they tend to overlook. Some of the ways we are going to measure this is partner satisfaction, customer satisfaction, profit margin, market share, and brand awareness. Our customers simply would not exist if it wasn't for brand awareness and market share. Through this, we will evaluate these areas through our media mix and our media team to invest further in the areas that our farmers are looking at so that we can invest in our farmers so that our brand awareness and market share will increase. Another, almost as equally as important, is our customer and partner satisfaction. We will measure this by giving our partners and customers surveys so that when we get the feedback from them, we can further our relationship with our farmers and customers and continue that relationship with them, and also offer different incentive programs for our farmers so that they can continue to grow our company with us. Next, Grace will conclude our presentation.
The Cobco is an organization that takes cobs left in the field and turns them into cash. The Cobco fills an unmet need in the market while capitalizing on $3.62 billion of potential, which makes a profit its first year and requiring zero financial investment from its farmer partners. By delivering our turnkey solution, we will be able to sustain the family farm and drive consumers' demand for sustainable products. So come on down and get corny with us. Thank you.
Okay, I'll jump in on this. If I remember correctly, it was you were looking at 23 farmers participating in year one in a 5 or 6 county area. Why are we advertising? If we have to get 23 farmers to be successful, they have no output. They're making what they would if they had to do it, but they don't have to do anything. Why are we spending money on advertising?
I guess just to try to get the word out and reach those initial 23 farmers. But if we were to reach additional, we would have more cobs to supply more cobs to Poet or the animal bedding. So if we can reach more than those 23 farmers, we would love to. And then I guess additionally into Iowa to get started over there.
So if you advertise the first year and you've got plans in place to get 23 farmers a success, and you have 300 that say, raise their hand and say, we want to do it, are we capable of handling that? Or are we going to have to turn people away?
I believe that we're capable of that. Building our budget, we've set it so that we're able to take more as needed. We clearly in year one, we're only 23 farmers, 20 cob collectors. That's a lot lower cost if we're looking at 300 farmers because our average for cob collectors and service is 1-to-1 ratio. So, however, because of our budget is so able to expand and because of the profit that we're able to make on selling those cobs and then give that return back to the farmer, I feel that based on our budget, we're able to account and build and adjust for those costs as needed and as our company or those involved in our company want to grow.
Another reason that we are going to advertise our first year is because competitors have tried this before, but they've never had the turnkey solution that we offer here at the Cobco. So if we say, hey, this is what we're going to do, you're going to see this money, they're going to be more likely to come on, and we need to let them know what we're capable of.
A significant portion of our success is tied to the ethanol market, and the political game is real when it comes to renewable fuels. The new administration puts that into some level of question. So one, how do we know that they will have an ethanol market in the time frame we need? And two, what will we do if we don't have that market to sell into?
Yeah, so definitely we took that into account. So we're not basing our company just on cellulosic ethanol. We're also in the braces and absorbents sector. So if we aren't seeing the profits that we're expecting from cellulosic ethanol, we can definitely revert back to our braces and absorbents that we're seeing a lot of growth in. Especially when you think about bedding for pets, they're looking for sustainable products. Also for laboratory animals, they were saying that ammonium is the #1 problem that they have, and that cob-based bedding actually is really great at helping that problem out and solving that issue. So we see a lot of growth there, and we are expecting growth in cellulosic ethanol, but as you know, there are a lot of fluctuations with that market, but we believe that as there is more demand, 64% increase in 1 year, that is a big number to go on. We are hoping that they'll expand even more.
Kind of similar to that, you mentioned that your current assumptions are based off of $250 a ton. Is that right? $250 a ton for
Yeah,
for
that's
cod?
right.
And that there was some room for it to go up and down.
Yes.
What sort of indication do you have? I mean, how sustainable is that $250 a ton for the market, given that you're going to all of a sudden have a whole lot more cobs in the marketplace?
Yes, so for $250 a ton, our average that we found throughout the years was about $220 a ton to $270 a ton. So we gave the average on that. I would say you're right. We're getting more in. It's going to change the fluctuation of price. However, like I said earlier, we're able to still operate as a company and guarantee that farmer that $40 if we were to drop to the price of $100 per ton on those cobs. So even if that would drop or fluctuate as we're bringing more in, we would still be able to get the farmer a great revenue and profit share of that. And also, considering in year 1 we're only bringing in 50,000 tons of cobs, it's not going to change that price very much. It would maybe go on the low end of that average, which wouldn't change our profit share or program to the farmer.
So then, as a quick follow-up on that, anything in your plans or anything that Cobco is doing to help continue to ensure that there is going to be a market for cobs? I know you talked a little bit about cellulosic, and you talked about some of the other things. Anything you're doing just to build the demand and keep that price up there?
Yeah, so as I said before, we're creating partnerships with these companies, and POET has plans to put a cellulosic ethanol in production plant near every ethanol plant they have in the U.S. So there's going to be at least 300 tons per plant. For us to exceed that, we would need to be harvesting about the entire state of Ohio and probably half of Indiana.
So it seems like sort of a non-brainer. It's right. It's free to your farmer partners to do it. You're guaranteeing them. Why wouldn't somebody do it?
Okay, well, I guess the main reason you would say is that, yeah, that's part of the reason why we have this deal. Our goal is to help farmers that really can't make their quotas, and as I said before, net incomes and prices are dropping, and just being able to help the farmer is our goal. Coming from farm backgrounds ourselves, we feel very passionate about helping our Tim Tassels and our Corey Cobbs growing up in our community. Does seem like a no-brainer, but no one's ever quite done this before. As Laura was stating, that they only did the machinery part of it, they only offered the transportation, or they only did bits and pieces, but we're helping them with the product all the way basically to the end user and using our connections with Anderson's and POET to be able to make that happen. So as you can see, a farmer doing it on their own is kind of hard because they don't have the economies of scale to be able to produce as much to meet the demand.
Also, going off of that, I think, we think of farmers as sometimes reluctant to change. And if there's that common misconception of we're going to lose nutrients if we do this in our soil, that's a scary thought. So through our PR and through our promotion, we're trying to address those things and trying to say, this is not something to be scared about. These are just myths. We're going to work with you. We're going to provide this for you. But I think that would cause some reluctance among our farmer partners. But we're trying to address those ahead of time, and also why we're investing in advertising that first year to kind of take that on head on and really take that and make it into something better and address those issues early on.
So you've said that people are doing different parts of this, and this is the first time it's all in one chain under one entity. When you have success at this, and people that are doing those other parts kind of have the light bulb go off and go, we can do that. Is there anything that you're doing to lock your farmers in so you've got a loyalty so they stay with you instead of start looking at other competition?
And I think I kind of hit on that a little bit in the presentation as well, talking about incentive programs for our farmers. So if we want to expand and grow as a company, we will offer incentive programs to his buddy, hey, this program's great, come on over, and they can make some money too. So I think that's a way to lock and load. Since our name is already on this person's farm, they're always going to trust a referral from a friend.
So I want to compliment you on the logo. So I like the logo and the way you've integrated that. I have a couple questions around the sales rep component. So can you clarify for me how many sales reps you're going to have, when they're starting, and are they worried just about, I know you said they were worried about the farmers and the end product, but is it the same person that's going to be calling on farm and also working with the partners at Poet, or how are you going to structure your sales force?
So I'll start that on the financial side of how many we have. So our goal is to have about, again, a 1-to-1 ratio or a 1-to-10 ratio in this sense. So for year 3, we're going to have about 10 salespeople, salesmen. And so going backwards, year 2 would have about 5, and year 1 about 3. In the beginning, each sales rep would take on 10 customers or partner farmers specifically. And then the next year, those first original ones would keep their original 10 and take on an additional 10. So each by year 3, then the first ones would have 3 sets of the 10. I know it's complicated. I'm doing the Excel sheet in my head right now. And then they would also take on a new 10. And I think Jenna can talk about how that will work with our partner and our customers.
Yeah, our sales team will be working with our farmer partners as well as our customers. They will serve as that kind of middleman for both entities.
Okay, so just to clarify, if I start off as a salesperson in year 1, by the time we get to year 3, I'm going to be calling on 4 times more growers? Did I catch that?
30.
I'll be calling
30.
So my first year I get to call on
10
and
farmers.
I get to go to 40, or I get to go
30.
to 30
Yep.
by year 3. Okay.
So if corn needs to be dried because it's wet and it needs to go into storage and be dried, do the cobs need to be dried too, and does that add to our cost?
So I'm going to start this. We talked to Poet personally, and we were really concerned about that problem as well. They actually take them any way you can get them. They typically take them in a bale with all the stover entirely, including the cob. However, they just need the cob for the cellulosic ethanol, and they'll take it any way it is, any moisture. So the drying isn't necessarily our problem, and once we sell the cobs to the other larger industry providers, such as the Andersons, stuff like that, they can go about their drying process if they need to. We just supply the cobs and then cut the farmer the check.
When you guys do a great...